What does it take to move from a few passionate teachers that are dabbling in project-based learning to a sustainable district-wide system where PBL is the norm and not the exception? In this video, we're not just talking about great classroom PBL projects. We're talking about systems levels thinking, about professional development that lasts, is sustainable, and about a model that turns your best teachers into internal coaches. That way you're not relying on outside training forever. Our case study is Calvert County, Maryland. They figured it out. In just 3 years of partnership, they scaled project-based learning across a 20,000 student district. They've done it without burnout. They've done it without top-down mandates. They did it with a clear path to long-term sustainability. If you're a district leader wondering how to build something that lasts, then this case study is definitely for you. How do they make something last like this on such a large district? How do they go to a place where it's not top-down mandate, everybody has to do this? And where did they start? It all started with social studies. Yep, just one content area, one simple goal. How do we increase student engagement? That was the driving question. But what began as a pilot quickly spread through the district like wildfire. And why? Because teachers saw the impact and they said this is how I've always wanted to teach. We're solving real world problems. Our kids are presenting to the school board. Our kids are confident and they're learning. How do you do this across a district though? Enter Ashley Curtin. It's their district PBL coach. She's a relationship builder. She's a change agent. With support from Magnify Learning and a smart model that prioritized coaching the coach, Ashley became the go-to resource for every teacher trying to bring PBL to life. See, we do coaching with all of our trainings, but with Calvert County, we coached their coach. There's a ton of additional benefits to this model, and we absolutely love it. But let's talk about what this process looks like in real life. Because project-based learning isn't about making posters. It's about solving problems that matter. So what are some of the PBL units that they're bringing to life? Let's look at one from an 8th grade science teacher. They looked at an invasive species problem. They also had some culinary arts students at the high school. Boom! Suddenly you've got a cross-grade, cross-program PBL unit that ended with students presenting to the Department of Agriculture. Instead of the 8th graders just reading about how invasive species like this catfish is ruining their waterways, students created public awareness campaigns. They partnered with the culinary arts seniors at the high school and designed recipes to eat the problem. And it ended with a community showcase that felt more like a science fair meets Top Chef kind of scenario. Another example in the elementary realm, how about 3rd graders who wrote, illustrated, and published their storybooks about different U.S. regions. They even recorded their audio readings, linked them in the QR codes in the cover. And yes, there was an author signing event with 150 plus proud parents and community partners in attendance. These kids are actually publishing books. They're not just writing essays that get a grade and go into the dumpster. These are published authors at 3rd grade. So how does this all happen? How do you bring it all together? Coaching and community. And meeting people where they are. Ashley, again, who was their district PBL coach, didn't force teachers into the deep end. She nudged, she partnered, we trained, she celebrated small wins and let the movement grow naturally. And now, PBL is a strategic goal for the entire district. Now, of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are roses, which are the wins, buds, which are the promising practices, and yes, there are some thorns. Teacher capacity, hesitant adopters, funding limitations, those were all real things. They were all real things for Calvert County, but they worked through them. With creativity and community, they're tackling each one of the limitations with a growth mindset, innovation, and an eye on the prize of where they want their learners to be and how engaged they want them to be with the community work. But here's what I want you to take away from Calvert County's journey. Instead of outsourcing everything for the next 5 years, what if you build internal leaders who know the culture and the challenges? What if we're coaching your coaches? We still train your teachers, but at the end of those 3 years, you have a coach that can now train your new hires, that can train the teachers that weren't on board at first, that can continually innovate. There's so many ways to do this. You can use newsletters, you can do shout outs, you can do public expos. They all boost morale and visibility for your PBL movement. So whether it's a curious teacher or a CTE instructor, offer on-ramps, not roadblocks, for those first followers. Take some of those first followers that want to do the extra work, they want to coach, they want to go above and beyond to figure this out. Find them, hone their skills. At a time when burnout is real with teachers, PBL is helping educators reconnect with their purpose. Teachers who were ready to leave are now staying. Why? Because they see their students come alive. They're getting to do the work they've always wanted to do. They got into teaching for a reason, and it was to inspire, and PBL lets them do that. What about the students? They're not just learning, they're also leading. They're creating, they're empowered. They see themselves as capable of real change. That's pretty amazing. So if you want to bring PBL to your district, you can start small, right? Find your champions, celebrate the wins, and remember, real change doesn't happen overnight. It's not one curriculum you're going to buy. It's not one decision. It's about the right support, the right mindset, and some patience to make it happen. You need to have that vision. You need to have support, but you need to always be thinking about how will we sustain this on our own? How are we going to keep this movement going? It's not enough to have your teachers really excited. What are you going to do when there's a principal change? You need to have internal structures and processes, positions like a PBL district coach that can keep the work going. And when you do, you'll have your case study where attendance and engagement have gone up, discipline have gone down, your standardized test scores have gone up, your community perception is at an all-time high because you're out solving real-world problems in your community, and your kids are fired up about it. You can do this, but I want you to look at the systems level work of this process. All right, thanks for watching. Till next time, lead inspired.